In the previous video, we made a custom rig for our lamp, and in this video, let's go ahead and make some springs using geometry node, some bone, and stretch those bones to the springs. So let's jump in. Right, so let's go put some empty to this rivets from right here to use it as hook. Go duplicate this, goes up here, and duplicate this goes here. Another one goes in the middle because we have something in the middle. All right, let's go shift select all of this, go to empty setting, alt, and let's go maybe 2. Grab this bar, enter edit mode, hover over. You know the drill. You're gonna hit L, grab this, and put the cursor right here. Then grab this one and put it right in the cursor with the cursor to selection and selection to cursor. So grab this and edit mode. I'm gonna grab this one right here with the L and put the selection cursor right in the middle and grab, where is it? Here, this one. Put it right into the cursor. Same deal with this part. So tap, grab this, L, cursor selection, and grab this empty, selection to cursor. Those are maybe a little bit too small, so let me grab them all. Hold Alt, and maybe size 3, right? Now let's go grab this, Shift select this, Control P, object, grab this, and this bar, Control P, object, grab this one, and parent it to this joint. So let's see if it's follows or not. Yep, following nicely. So now we have some movement and all the empties are following the armature. So let's go and get ready for the springs. I'm gonna make the springs with the geometry node and parent that to a bone right here, a stretchy bone. But to avoid any problem, actually I'm gonna cheat a little bit, and both end of the spring I want to make them with a mesh, a static mesh parented to these two parts or this empties, then put the spring behind it. All right, to make the both end of the spring, I'm going to use extra curve object right here. So we can find it by going to extension and type extra and extra curve or extra mesh. So let's put the cursor right here, cursor selection, and Shift A. Let's go ahead inside the curve down here, spirals, and choose the first one. All right, in this menu, let's make it or align it towards view. And where is it? The radius down. All right. Let's go align it to the cursor. And I need turn maybe 2. And step, let's go maybe 12. Make it a little bit lower. And go height. So that's too much. Let's go down maybe 0.01, even 0.005, maybe turn 1 or 2, yeah, 2. So it's a curve, right? So you have some curve option right here. Go to geometry and add a little bit of depth right there. Obviously too much, so 0.05. Let's rotate it 90 degrees towards the y-axis, so RY 90, and so move it down here, right there, 0.09. Now hold shift and make it smaller, right there. Step, make the whole thing a little bit bigger, so with A, S goes right here. So I'm gonna hide the spring behind here, as I said before. So let's keep this one right there. And also, I'm gonna mirror the whole thing after adding the bone and the stretch thing to the other side. So for now, just keep it on one side. Back to the side view, let's make it duplicate while we are in the edit mode. So all selected with A, just make sure duplicate, go here. All right, let's go maybe rotate this one a little bit, add more randomness, kind of like this. I want this one to attach to this empty, or maybe this bars, so we need to actually separate it. So hit P, separate it. Now we have two. Go put the origin to geometry. Same here, put the origin to geometry. All right, so grab it and shift. Grab this one, Ctrl P, and to object. Grab this one with this, Ctrl P, object. Let's see if it's follow. Yeah, now we have something for the end and start of the spring. So let's do the same for this bottom part. Duplicate this, goes here, but still parenting to the top bar. Let's go clear parent, but keep the transform. Let's go here, maybe rotate that a little bit to have more randomness, kind of like this. Right. Not bad. Gonna mess with that later. And again from side view. Let's go duplicate. This time, let's go put the cursor right here. Grab this and object to cursor. And put it right here. Rotate a bit. Might be a little bit off, so let's check that from side view. And I can see behind. I'm gonna go enable the wireframe. It's up here. So where is it? There. This circle right here. So let's make it a bit bigger. S and go with the shift right there. Alrighty. Grab this and shift. Oh, first of all, let me check if they are aligned or not. Maybe like right there. So grab this and shift. This one, Ctrl P and object. This one to the joint, Ctrl P and object. So for the springs, I'm going to use geometry node, but to see a little bit more clear, I'm going to go to the bone. I'm still in pose mode and hide the bones right there. And also let's put all of these empties to a new collection. I'm sure we have one inside there. I'm gonna do that later. So hit M, let's go empty. Create. Right. Let's go for that last empty M and put it in the empties. Alright, so back to the side view. So I'm going to use a spring and make a spring with the geometry node, hide both ends behind this spring caps we just made, and make a bone. Let me demonstrate that in here. So make a bone right there. This is going to be our stretchy bone. So it's going to stretch between these 2 points. I'm going to use this empties, just made them hidden. One as IK for the bone, bone tail, of course, and one as a child or parent for the bone. So the bone, the stretchy bone, would be the child of this empty. So that's the parent, that's the IK. So it's gonna be in between these 2 points. It's gonna stretch towards this IK. Alright, we need another bone inside here as an anchor, because this bone can be stretchy and we don't want that out of hand stretch on this spring. So let's go back, and here, first of all, let me put the 3D cursor right there. Alright, and let's go ahead, make something, plane, cube, and anything else you want. Doesn't matter, we're gonna delete that in a second. So grab here and make another viewport right there. Change it to geometry node. Hit N to hide this panel. While this one is selected, let's create a geometry node 3. So let's go disconnect that. So we don't have the plane no more. Let's go in between. Hit space for search, or simply add curve right here, primitives, and let's go, is it here? Yeah, curve spiral right there. Let's change the resolution to 16. A start and end roll, make them both maybe around, let's go 10 for now and see the result. So I'm gonna connect this to geometry right there, and that's our spiral right there. So let's go drop the height. So it's gonna be height of the overall shape. Let's change this to 5. See the result? Yeah, still too big. So 2 maybe. In the real world, it might be 1.5 or 2. So let's go 1.5 centimeters. And drop the height. Let me hold shift and go right there. And the turns, I'm gonna rotate the spiral first. So grab that and rotate it towards this end and add rotation. Then change the height. See, yeah, a little bit more rotation. Maybe this much. Let me bring back the concept. See a little bit. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 or 10 rotations. So let's go 9. Right. And maybe rotate it a bit more. And let's change the position. Let's go over here. So you see, this pin, this rivet, is a little bit too small. So I'm gonna go ahead and enter edit mode, hit L, select that. We don't have the mirror, I applied the mirror, so let's go to the front view. And yep, can do that with a little bit of scale. Now, yeah. So back to object mode, let's see that. So let's go push this one towards out, kinda like that. So maybe that's enough, I believe so. Go change the height a little bit. Move it here. Right, we need some profile. Maybe even go to 1 or 1.2. Right, so that might be good. Let's see that after adding some profile. So I'm gonna go to curves, shift A, and let's go curve primitives. Let's go circle. Right, and curve to mesh. So let's go even operation, I believe. Curve to, where is it? Curve to mesh, or simply search curve to mesh. So this is our curve, goes here. This is our profile, goes right there and here. So that's obviously too big. So I'll change the resolution right there and it's smaller. Let's go up close, see that. Hit the shift. Maybe 0.5. It's still too big, 0.3. That's bad. Now let's go ahead and move this to here. Then rotate it in local axis. Grab the y-axis, goes here. Right? Back to profile. I'm gonna go 0.4. Make it a little bit more cartoonish looking. Not bad. Not bad at all. So we're gonna parent this one to a bone, as I mentioned before. But before that, here, we wanted the bone to affect the height of the spiral. So we need the height to expose inside the modifier to drive that with the driver. Grab the height, put it right in the empty slot right there. So we have the height right here. If I drag, I believe we are done with the geometry node for now. I'm gonna put this one right here. We need that. I'm not gonna close it. So back to the side view and also to the armature. 3D cursor is located right here, so we can make a bone right there. Go to edit mode for the armature. So let's go hit Shift A right there, make another bone, and immediately let's go ahead and put this bone to the new collection, spring, maybe. Now hide other bones. Let's go to the object mode and select this empty. Put the cursor to this selection Back to edit mode for the bone. Grab this tail and goes to object right there. So let's see. Go put it in the right place. Both end and the start of the bone. Right here and right here. Alrighty. And let's go make another bone right into the already created bone. So duplicate this bone then. And where is it? Right in the middle. Let's go local and make it smaller. Isolate. I'm gonna eyeball it. Back to the here. So let's go change this bone name F2. Let's go spring. Alright. And the bone inside. Let's change the name anchor. Now the spring bone needs to be a child of this empty right here, but need to have IK towards this empty right there. So go to the pause mode while this one is selected. Go to constraint and constraint of child of. So this empty is the target, or target for child of. Then add a inverse kinematic and use this one as the spring IK. So I'm gonna move this target right here. All right, and let's go to the bone setting, inverse kinematic setting inside the bone data right there, and make the bone stretchy. Oh, I didn't select the bone right there, so let's go maybe 0.5. Now, if I go and make the control bone visible and move this bone, you see the control bone, the IK bone follows the empties. That's what I want. And also stretching a little bit, you see. So let's reset the selection. Now let's grab the anchor back to edit mode. Grab the anchor, then shift select the spring bone and Ctrl P, keep offset. Now anchor is the child of the spring. Right, let's go. Grab the armature and spring. Let's go isolate. Grab the spring and this one need to be in pose. Grab that and grab the anchor bone. Right there. So spring, shift select the armature, then spring and control P to bone. Right there. Alright, let's see. Now the spring doing something, not exactly the thing we need to do, but it's something. So let's go back and for the anchor, let's go grab it inside the bone setting right there and relation. Let's go and make the inherit scale off. All right, now the spring bone scaling, but the spring not. Back to the spring. As you may remember, we needed spring height right here to get changed by height of the bone. So to do that, we actually need a driver. So we're gonna right click on the height and let's go add a driver. All right, I'm gonna change this window, the geometry node, to drivers. Alrighty, grab that and driver tab. Let's go back to the side view and bring everything back. We need the driver here to change the spring height that we just added the driver to. We need that to change by the bone scale. So let's go grab the armature right there, and the bone is, guessed it right, the spring. Alrighty, now it's gonna be at the same height as the spring. We're gonna get back to that later. So type would be Z scale. This is the Z, as you see, scaling all the way. And it's gonna be in local space. So now let's go and empty here. We just keep the var, and let's go times maybe 1.2 or 1.5. So that's gonna be the new height, right? If I grab the control bone and move, you see the spring now changing based on the height of the spring bone. Let's go put the bone or whole armature in back and see the spring up close. Maybe can go a little bit lower than that. So 14, maybe 13. So now we have a new height, default height. Stretching good. Maybe a little bit more here, so 6 or 7 to hide it real good. Back to default. Let's go to the spring setting and change this window to geometry node again. Add a little bit more thickness, 0.5. Let me hide the bones and also the empty. Not bad. Stretching and squishing good. Let's see if it's following the whole armature or not. Alright, if I drag up, then push this one up, but I actually prevent it to be moving. Yeah, it's working real nice. So A, select everything, Alt G, Alt R, Alt S, and let me go. Maybe keep the Y for this action. Yep. So let me go see what's the deal with this one. Resolution 4. What's the resolution here? Resolution 16. So let's go 8 for this one. Then 8 for this one as well. Maybe we'll rotate this. It's up to you. It's more hidden behind that. So let's go and add some mirror. So go mirror to the other side by using x-axis, but based on this base. So that's not x, that's y. Yeah. Right. Maybe even based on this joint, right? Right. Same deal right here. And mirror to the Z based on this joint. And this one goes, if I'm not wrong, goes here. So now we have spring in both sides. Let's see if it's working correctly or not. Yep. Doing good. Now we just need to basically do the same thing for the bottom. Bring the geometry node, and we can't see any node here. Why? Because we are in the mirror modifier. So if I select the geometry node modifier, we can't still see that. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the mirror for now. Right? We have this to end and start down here for the spring. Obviously, we need to change them a little bit. Let's go ahead and Shift D, make a duplication. Let's go to the side view and bring that down over here. First of all, let's go from top view, see that in the extreme mode. Let's make it straight like that. And put it in the right place, kinda. Right? And while that's selected, hit Alt and P, clear parent, and keep the transform. So let's keep the driver and first add the bones. So quickly adjust this. It's obviously a little bit too big. Maybe both are a little bit too big, right? Then go ahead and for this one, let's use 1 centimeter as the radius, maybe, and also 0.3, maybe. No, that's a little bit low, too low. 0.4 for the profile curve. That might be a little bit better, right? Yeah. Same thing for this one, and you see it's changing as I change this one. Why? Because we have two user using this geometry node. All right, to avoid any problem, let's make this one unique. So grab it and hit or tap on this 2 right there. Let me change the name also to VT Spring, right? That's that. Grab this top one and let's go TP Spring, right? Bottom spring and top spring. All right, same deal. Let's go first of all, enable this shield right here. So we won't lose that setting. All right, this one, let's go and maybe reverse it. All right, maybe we need to make this rivet right here a little bit longer. So let's do that as we go in. L and let's go a little bit wider, but enough to avoid any collision right there. Maybe this much. Alrighty, and let's grab this one, this end, and go a little bit like that. Maybe even mirror this one. So right click and mirror towards the global x-axis and rotate that in local axis. I'm trying to hide this one behind this. All right, then let's go rotate this one to match the other end. like that. I'm not gonna mess with the height because height's controlling by driver. So let's do the um, bone right now. So grab this empty right there, and let's go snap cursor to selection. All right, this one needs to go a little bit down there. All right, and let's go ahead, select your armature right here, and tab to edit mode, and Shift A, so we can't see anything because all the bones are hidden. So that's gonna be there. Back to the object mode, put the cursor to this new selection right there, and grab this tail, put it to cursor. Now we have this bone right here. Let's go to the top view or front view, doesn't matter, and put this one right in the middle, the spring. And now let's grab this head of the bone, put the cursor right there, grab this empty, and object to cursor or selection to cursor. See the head of the bone. If I can go to edit, so tail, sorry, grab the tail and go cursor to selection. Now grab this empty right here, go selection to cursor. Now we have the empty for both end of the bone. All right, so next thing is to add another bone inside. Remember, we have this bone called spring, I believe. Yep. And this bone inside of it called anchor. So it's time to change these names right there. So let's go call this one TP underscore spring. This one, selecting that inside, so you might not be able to see that right there. So hit F2 and call this one TP underscore anchor. So let's call this BT underscore spring, and back to edit mode, side view, and let's go isolate, duplicate it, Shift D right there. So this one is BT spring, this one BT spring 0, 1. Let's go grab the end, the tail, and put it in the middle. Now we have to grab this and shift select this bone, make sure the spring BT is selected, and Ctrl P, let's go bone. Right, that's the new parent for this spring thingy. And also, as you might remember, if I select this anchor right there, go to bone setting, the anchor the parent for the anchor is TP spring, so the spring bone. Did I name it? No. That's BT spring 01. So let's go ahead and call it BT anchor. So BT anchor right there. So in the edit mode, grab that and grab the BT spring and Ctrl P, keep offset. So next would be this driver thingy. So let's go object mode, grab this and go to modifier, driver, go to this window and switch to drivers. Find your driver right there. Go to driver tab. The object is armature, TP is spring, so it's not right. Switch that to BT, where is it? BT spring, right there. See a scale, local, and all good except for this var up here times by this number. That's the default size of the spring, need to be changed. So let's go 0.1. Yeah. 0.05. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Let's see that in action and if it's working or not, first of all. So grab the control bone. Let's go. Oh, it's not supposed to work. Why? Because I forget a really crucial step, and that would be assigning the spawn, the spring BT, some constraint. So it's going to be child of this empty right here. All right, and it's going to have IK, and the IK target would be this one right there. Might work right now. Yeah, it's working, but not really. Why? Because this bone inside the bone setting, IK setting, doesn't have any stretch going on. Now let's go grab this bone stretch. So the bone wasn't selected. Let's go select this spring bone, maybe 0.5 stretch right there. And let's see what's happening here. Alt and G, reset. Now let's test it. So it's working, but one more step needed. That step has to do something with this anchor bone, right? Yeah, we actually prevent this one to scale or inherit scale. Let's go to here, right? And none for inherit scale. And I believe I parented this spring wrong. Yeah, it has to parent to anchor. So that's why it's scaling on every axis. So let's go and clear parent for this spring. Alt P and clear parent. Pause mode. Grab the spring. Then shift select the armature. Let me find the bone right there. But select this bone and Ctrl P bone. And finger crossed. Let's see. Yeah, now it's working. Right, let's see all of that without any distraction. So I'm gonna go hide all the bones. Let's go spring bones and other bones. Let's skip the control bone. Let's go see that in the render view without any distraction. This head, it's too big. Also this one. Make this two a little bit smaller. And this bottom one can actually go a little bit thinner. So let me switch to, where is it? The geometry node. And grab this. Let's go 0.3 for the radius of the profile. Same deal right here, but first let's go make it smaller in place. So S, and like this. Same thing for this one. We need to go to X-ray view, maybe even X-ray with the solid view. So this thing right here is the cylinder inside. Right, so let's go scale down. I'm gonna change this default height of this spring to match this new location. So this one is selected. Let's go to the curve setting right here and change the depth to 0.3. Let's see. Yep, it's good. Same thing for this one, 0.3. And this is the result right there. Starting point, it's not bad actually. Heights are kinda good, but the end right here, I can see that behind this. Grab this, go to modifier and change this one to driver. Driver 0.06. Let's go 7. It's too much. 65, maybe. Let's add a mirror modifier and see if it's copying properly based on this joint to the z-axis right there. Both of this, the end of springs also z right there, and this bottom one, where is it? Mirror based on this joint, and z. You have 2 right now. And also let's bring back the mirror for this one based on this joint, I believe. Let me check right there. Middle joint, right? So grab the spring based on middle joint, go Z local right there. Let's see this in the natural position. So grab this one in pose mode, Alt and G. This one can have a little bit more turn. Back to geometry node then. Grab it, back to geometry node. Grab this geometry node modifier. It has 9. Let's go a bit more. Is it enough? Let's test that in animation. Down, up. Now, can be more. Let's go 10 then. Even more. 12. So this one also can see that now when it's stretching. Let's go back to driver. Go maybe var 138. Maybe even more. 9. And this one, rotate right here. Alt and G. And both of this and then start needs to have a cap. So fill these with cap. And here cap. Can't see the hole for both and then start of the spring, so let that be. I might add a little bit of more radius to this one, so 0.5. No, not the thickness here, the 1.2 maybe. And rotation right there, maybe even a little bit more here. .1 or even 2. So here, a little problem right there. I have to hide this. So let's see. We can do that. Maybe a little bit more thickness for this one. Not a bad idea. So 0.4. I don't want it to be too chunky. So let's rotate this one if I can actually. So for this one, let's go hit the cap right there, or even make the rotation a little bit less right there. So let's go test all of this again with no distraction and render. Not bad. I'm happy. And because we used non-destruction way to make them, can always go back and change everything about them. What is this material right here? Lamp chrome. So I added chromic kind of material to this one. Let me go and make that color a little bit more towards chromic. But if you try to add this material to the spring, you can't. Right there, you see? Doesn't accept any material. Why? Because we made this inside geometry node, and to add material inside geometry node, you have to go and use set material right there. Grab and put it after curve to mesh and choose your material right here. Same thing right there. Set material. And where is it? Chrome. But for this ends, we can use old way to add material. So back to material and let's go drop the roughness a little bit. Right. You know what? I really like the idea for the spring to be shiny, but the other parts to have the same material as this white shiny material right there. Kind of like painted metal. So let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead, shift select all of these parts, and at last shift select this shade and Ctrl L link material. Let's see that. Yeah, this one. Same thing, link material. I like this one more. What do you think? Is it better? All right. Looks like we are ready to go to the animation phase. So let's go ahead and in the next video start animating this dude.